The German guns roared across the harbor. A lone warship charged straight toward one of Hitler's most heavily defended naval bases. Everyone watching believed the crew had lost their minds, but hidden inside the ship was a weapon powerful enough to change the course of the war. To understand why this mission mattered, you first have to understand a single dry dock on the French coast, a dock the Germans simply could not afford to lose. In HOCR, Germany possessed one of the most powerful battleships ever built, Tirpitz, a floating fortress armed with enormous guns, capable of threatening every Allied convoy crossing the Atlantic. But even giants have one weakness. If Tirpitz was damaged in the Atlantic, there was only one dry dock in occupied Europe large enough to repair her, Saint-Nazaire. British planners reached a simple conclusion: destroy the dock, and Tirpitz would never dare risk the Atlantic again. The plan sounded insane. An old destroyer would be packed with explosives, disguised as a German warship, then sail directly into the heart of the enemy's naval base. The ship chosen for the mission was HMS Campbeltown, an aging American destroyer transferred to Britain, old, worn, and perfect for a one-way mission. For weeks, Campbeltown was transformed. Her funnels were cut down. Her silhouette was altered. From a distance, she now looked like a German destroyer. Then came the most dangerous secret. More than 4 tons of explosives were hidden deep inside the ship's bow, behind layers of reinforced steel and concrete. The explosives wouldn't detonate on impact. Instead, they were fitted with delayed action fuses, giving the Commandos just enough time to escape. The ship wasn't going alone. More than 600 Commandos and sailors volunteered for what many believed was a suicide mission. Yet, not one of them stepped back. The Commandos trained relentlessly. Every building, every doorway, every objective inside the dock was memorized before the mission even began. On the evening of March 26, 1942, the task force quietly slipped out of Britain and headed for occupied France. Every man aboard knew the odds. Many secretly believed they would never see home again, yet no one turned back. For 2 days, the small fleet crossed rough Atlantic waters in complete radio silence. Every hour brought them closer to the most heavily defended port on the French coast, while German patrols searched the surrounding seas. Just before midnight, the task force reached the mouth of the Loire estuary. Ahead lay Saint-Nazaire. Powerful searchlights swept across the water, while German coastal batteries stood ready. One mistake, and the mission would end before it even began. To buy precious seconds, Campbeltown raised German naval signals and identification lights. For a brief moment, the deception worked. The coastal defenses hesitated, believing the approaching ship was one of their own. Then, everything changed. A German signal station realized something was wrong. An urgent challenge was transmitted across the harbor. Seconds later, the deception collapsed, and the night exploded into gunfire. Shells slammed into Campbeltown from every direction. Steel plates were ripped apart. Men fell across the deck, and flames began spreading through the ship. Yet her engines never slowed. She continued charging straight toward the dock. The distance closed rapidly. Every gun in the harbor was now firing at Campbeltown. Smoke covered the deck. Wounded sailors lay where they had fallen, but the destroyer never changed course. The dock gate was directly ahead. At 1:34 a.m., Campbeltown slammed into the massive dock gate at nearly 20 knots. The steel hull crushed deep into the structure, locking the destroyer firmly in place. The bomb had reached its target. The moment the ship stopped, the Commandos stormed ashore. Their orders were simple: destroy as many enemy installations as possible before the Germans could recover. Small assault teams split up across the dockyard. Machine gun nests, pumping stations, electrical systems, and fuel facilities were all marked for destruction. The Germans recovered quickly. Reinforcements poured into the dockyard from every direction, turning the entire harbor into a battlefield. The Commandos suddenly found themselves heavily outnumbered. Despite overwhelming enemy fire, the demolition teams reached their objectives. One by one, explosive charges were planted on critical machinery and dock facilities. The countdown had begun. As the surviving Commandos fought their way back toward the harbor, many of the escape boats had already been destroyed. The mission was no longer about victory. It was about survival. Some Commandos escaped by sea. Others fought until their ammunition ran out. Many were captured, and many never returned home. Yet the most important part of the mission had only just begun. Hours passed. The battle was over, and German troops flooded the dockyard. Believing the destroyer was nothing more than a wreck, officers and engineers climbed aboard to inspect the strange ship lodged inside the dock gate. At 10:35 a.m., without warning, the hidden explosives finally detonated. The blast ripped through the destroyer, shattered the dock gate, and killed hundreds of German personnel gathered around the ship. The explosion destroyed the only dry dock on the Atlantic coast capable of repairing the battleship Tirpitz. From that moment on, Germany could no longer risk sending its most powerful warship into the Atlantic. Operation Chariot had achieved its objective. Operation Chariot became one of the boldest commando raids of World War II. More than 600 men sailed into one of Hitler's strongest naval bases, knowing many would never return. Their sacrifice changed the naval war forever and proved that even the strongest fortress could fall.